All right. We've got Neo Trash Nick back.
Hi.
Nick, how much fun was had at the casino last night?
It was a good time.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
No pizza pans were stolen this time around. I know that was the takeaway from St. Cloud we got with
Yeah.
you was got a little rowdy downtown St. Cloud.
You know, it's I'm dumb sometimes. We're all 12-year-olds with bank accounts. It's scary.
We're all 12-year-olds with bank accounts. I love it. Well, nice to run into you again this weekend. It's always nice running into some familiar faces, getting to talk with people I have before. What's the weekend been like for you? You've had some. We talked about the canvases you brought in this weekend.
Yeah. It's mini skirt weekend apparently.
Mini skirt weekend for Neo Trash Nick.
No, it's a smaller market show, man. The small ones are always a little more intimate and laid back.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever been to this town or casino. I've never really been to Southwest Minnesota. I've always kind of bypassed it and gone up to Fargo and stuff. So it's been cool to see the land around here. It looks like North Dakota.
Yeah. No, it was really cool coming over the hill. Actually, like when you came from Chicago or the other way, or the other side, right? Or where'd you come from?
Where did I come from?
Or St. Cloud?
Iowa this last time.
Iowa. So you were coming up, I suppose. But coming across, you come up over this hill and then you just drop down into this little valley and everything changes. It's a really beautiful little valley here. So, but you did work on a couple, like you said, a couple girls with mini skirts, but you did a cool leg piece, talk about that piece that you did the first day.
A mace with an eyeball.
Okay.
As the mace. Just cool, creepy stuff.
Yeah, and then the other piece that you did yesterday?
A dark lettering piece on Layla. I did that. I did a bunch of stuff yesterday. Yesterday was pretty cool, actually.
Cool.
Got to started with a lettering piece, then we did a big rose, and then I did an owl. Took a walk up from an older lady, and then I did a set of knuckles. That was cool, with the dark lettering shit. And then I did a spider web on an elbow. It was sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It blows my mind how people just do one tattoo a day now. I don't understand that. There used to be these things called old sparrow interviews on the web, and I think he was a tattooer. He would go around to conventions and just interview like tattoo legends and just fucking do this,
Yeah.
And there was one with I always forget his fucking name. He owns a saltwater tattoo, Tim Hendricks, and he's talking. The guy asked him, "What's your perfect day tattoo?" And he rattles off like 9 different tattoos. The guy's like, "That's not a lot." He's like, "Fuck no, bro. You don't gotta ask people if they want fries or some shit like that." Like, it's the coolest fucking job ever. So I don't. As long as I'm here and in this environment, like this is the funnest place in the world to be a tattoo artist to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about in the last interview. I would be shocked if anyone in this room did more conventions a year than you do. I could be wrong about that. You know a few that do more than you.
I have a couple of friends who don't have homes; they have storage units scattered across the state.
Oh my gosh! But you said you do about 30 conventions roughly a year.
The last couple of years have been 30 plus.
30 plus.
Yeah.
And next stop for you after this weekend is where?
Tattoos, booze, and tacos outside of Pittsburgh.
Tattoos, booze, and tacos. Okay.
Yeah, the trifecta.
Yeah, I love it. And you've been doing a little. You guest spotted at in St. Cloud there at Rocket Up with those guys, and you'll maybe be back there at some point again to do another guest spot with those guys.
Yeah, they were all cool dudes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's just been really fun getting to know everyone and seeing how you guys all work together in a. I think there's more competition within your hometown community, but once you get out of that, it's so much just like we're not in competition with each other, we're just collaborating with each other.
These things are so important to the tattoo industry. I always try to stress this to like the younger artists. Like this is where the community happens. This is like back in the day they would mail flash to people on the other side of the country so that they both had more flash, And now this is that, this is where the new products debut. This is where all the media that's around fucking tattooing that literally helps everyone in our industry. This is where it all comes from. It stems from. So being present in this is being present in your community, and a lot of tattoo artists forget that or don't see it as like a justifiable expense when we're coming here to work too.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, I love tattoo conventions, man. It's a very cool little subculture to live in, and we're fortunate enough to be in it.
Yeah, you just like hop around, and then like when you come to one of these things, you're like, oh hey, and you like it's like a reunion kind of, or just like get together and party. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, what do you have? I'll ask, or I guess, what else do you think is relevant for me to talk about with your life? You have so we should get a little bit of your story. Like you said, you owned a shop. We didn't talk about that in the last interview
No,
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
with you, but you owned a shop for a handful of years.
I've gone to a few of them now.
Okay.
I never want to again. Um, I don't know, man. It's like you basically turn into a step parent. That's the best way to describe it. Like nobody really appreciates how much work you put in behind it, and then it takes away all your time from doing what actually makes you happy and being creative. And it's just kind of a suck. And then two, like where the industry is now, it's not so much. A lot of people, everybody's finding their independence. It seems as tattoo artists, especially younger artists that probably shouldn't be yet, but everybody goes out and does their own thing. Like the people that stay in a shop and pay 50% of that house, they're few and far between anymore. And,
Right.
everybody wants to work for themselves. That's the beauty of this job. So I can't bitch about anybody wanting to do that. And I don't want to go hunt people down and basically try and get people to come work with me.
But you're 35,
36.
36, and how long have you been tattooing for?
I started in 2012.
Okay.
My first tattoo was February 2nd, 2012.
It's like 14 years.
Over 13.
Going on 14 years. Good for you, man. And you do neo-traditional. We talked about that last time, but
Yeah.
you also knocked out like that piece you did, a lot of black and gray, really cool black and gray stuff too. So you don't put yourself in a box.
I kind of do.
You kind of do?
Well, I just I do tattoos. I want to make the tattoos that I do look like I did them.
Yep.
It's a brand, and that's kind of
Yeah.
how I treat tattooing. This is our brand. Everybody that everybody looks up to has a fucking brand, and that's why they know who they are and look up to them.
Right.
So that's kind of what I did. And the stippling shit it's cool. It's fast.
Seriously, how do we have all?
I've been having a lot of fun with that. I did a lot of color on it. I wanted to be a lettering artist, and that got me good at bigger, thick, and thin lines, and then turned into neo-trad.
So that I saw Cole Erie's leg, the
Yeah.
one that you did when you were guessing at Rock It Up. Is
Yeah.
that's in that neo-traditional style? That
Okay.
is kind of your style there with
Yeah.
that like color pop to it, or like clean, tight colors, I guess. I don't know.
He wanted to do a little color pop in there, so I
Okay.
mean it's his tattoo.
Yeah.
Tattooing's not about us; it's the artist.
Yeah.
As much as our egos want to think it is, it's about what people want and them being happier with themselves and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I always try and get my clients input. There's certain things I won't break on, like like if people start trying to dictate a design and like every element of it, then I'll withdraw. But like otherwise, I know how to work with people. I'm kind of blessed with that one, so I always try to incorporate what they want or make them feel special about their tattoo. Give them a cool story to go with it.
Do you want to talk about, and you can if you want to, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but the tattoo that you weren't able to do today?
Oh,
Can you talk about that and why? Because that's kind of an
Yeah.
interesting thing that you hadn't run into before, maybe?
No, I mean I've never seen. So the guy just had a really hairy upper arm. We shaved it, and like the stencil it looked like it was boiling. It
Like
was
eczema or
yeah,
some type of like skin
It was
irritation?
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
strange. And being at a convention, there's a lot of eyes on everything going on. So if something goes wrong, a lot of people are going to see it. This isn't the place to experiment or to find out new things like that, in my opinion. So I just told him it's not a good time. I'd rather do it in a shop and take it slow by slow, have it moisturize the skin. Your skin's made out of water. Yeah, it's like 80% water.
Really?
80 or 83, I don't know.
How does that even work? Water. Interesting.
Dude,
That's interesting.
I don't know shit about fuck. but
That's interesting though, huh?
yeah, so always be hydrated for tattoos. I always stress that to people. I don't know if that was dehydration or it being dry out or a combination of a lot of shit. It just doesn't work out sometimes, and
That's a really good thought and a good point. Like I wouldn't have thought stay hydrated before a tattoo. I never thought that or been told that. I'm not a tattoo guy either though. I don't know anything about tattoos.
Especially if it's color, man. Fucking all that redness and stuff, and like our ability on our end to saturate your skin when you're well hydrated is so much fucking easier than it is when you're fucking dehydrated.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
same with like moisturizing and stuff. Like the people that moisturize the fuck out of their skin, they get that it saturates so fast. That's where you always see the brightest, boldest shit.
Okay.
It's usually women, and well taken care of skin.
Yeah, the canvas matters a lot. It does. Yep.
One of the guys that taught me a lot in tattooing fucking told me, he's like, it's like capturing lightning in a fucking bottle. He's like, you can have the perfect stencil and fucking do the perfect application, and then you go back and look at your pictures afterwards, and they all glary and look like shit. So same fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
Your canvas does matter a lot. I always tell people to fucking carb load right before they come in and be hydrated as fuck the night before.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay. Good to know.
Yeah, dude. And vitamin C or the emergency packets too. Awesome for your immune system, because that's what you're doing when you get a tattoo. It's attacking your fucking immune system.
Oh.
So pre-gaming, and it's important.
Pre-gaming for your tattoo.
Yeah, getting old's tight.
Yep,
Read
yep,
the labels.
Yep. So, did you get lucky here at Jackpot Junction? You won a little bit of money last night on the blackjack table, or what?
Yeah, I think I started making intoxicated Nick bets at the blackjack table at work.
More.
Oh man, dude, frustrating. I always sit at the wrong fucking table. There's like a side game on one of the blackjack things, and I would have won like fucking 10 grand if I would have been on a different table and got the hand that I got.
Oh my gosh.
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
gambling for you.
I guess what else is relevant to you and what's going on in your life now, maybe over the next, because I probably won't see you again until maybe St. Cloud next year. I don't know if Sam's going to be able to get some artists into his shop to guest. I'd love for you to come through Fergus Falls sometime. It'd be fun to have you into Fergus Falls. But what else is your outlook for the year? Just a lot of conventions, huh?
Yeah. Actually, me and Mika I travel with my homie Mika Chu.
Who's that?
Mika Chu is what she goes by on Instagram.
Okay.
She's cool as fuck. She has the same work mentality that I have. It's hard to find people that are like you in this community,
Yeah.
like work-wise. So she's pretty much, her and my homie Casket are like the two that I do booths with now, because we're all on the same fucking page. This is just a one-off that I'm here by myself.
Okay.
I think doing in Cincinnati. I think we're doing one in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
There was Houston was on the board. I think I'm going to Arkansas or Longview, Texas, which is like east of Dallas, like an hour and a half in like 3 weeks. Yeah, everywhere. Eventually.
Awesome. Well, last question before we get out of here. I've been asking people. I'm going to start asking people best tattoo advice, whether it be on the needle and technique side of it or on the lifestyle side of it.
Don't make tattooing your fucking personality. It's a job. For the love of God. It's my best advice. Be yourself. This is a tool. This isn't your personality. That's it.
Yeah.
I hate seeing people get lost down that rabbit hole and they become this character. And it kind of almost happened to me one time, so I understand it. But like, you got to be careful with that shit. You're not special. We draw pretty pictures for a living. Just
Yeah.
do your job.
Yeah. I
really
like
what it
that.
comes down to.
I like that. Well, Nick, I'll let you get going here. I know you got a client showing up here in just a few minutes, so I'll let you get that piece going. But thanks again for chatting, man.
Of course,
Yeah.